was doing a few things. You guys know I'm up a little bit earlier, and I was doing a few things, so I dropped a content for you guys so you guys could see it. Happy Friday, yeah, we made it. Thank God. Oh my gosh, guys. We've been waiting for this final day. Happy Friday. Now, people, I don't know if you guys heard about this case of this South African girl that was sold by her mom. They said for 10,000, they say for 20,000. We're not sure what happened to this little girl, but we know that little girl been missing for a while. Mother cannot tell us where that little girl is. Nobody can tell us where that mother is, but we know that 3 to 4 people went down, got life in prison for it. This story is a sad story, sad case. You know, the whole world is watching, but nobody really came and spoke about the story and all of that. Joshua, hey, how are you? Good morning. So I decided to come to share this story with you guys and a quick note and a quick content so you guys could understand what's happening in this world or what's happening across the world from us. So let's unpack the story quick and fast. Tears and heartbreak over a tragic story of a South African girl sold by her mother. Okay? A video clip of laughing Joslin Smith, who was 6 years old when she went missing more than a year ago in South Africa, left most people in the courtroom sobbing. Remember, the mom not too long got sentenced. The mom got sentenced. She was supposed to be sentenced yesterday, okay? So she basically got life, all right? It was shown during a hearing in Saldanha near Cape Town ahead of a life sentence giving to Joslin's mother, a drug addict who believed to have sold her for money. Raquel Smith, also known as Kelly Smith, was convicted of kidnapping and trafficking her daughter earlier this month. The 35-year-old mother of 3 was convicted and sentenced along with her boyfriend, Jacqueline Apollis, and their friend Steveno Van Ryn. Even the court interpreter could not hold back her tears as she translated the victim impact statement into English. A court official read out those statements first in Afrikaans, then the language spoken by those in the impoverished Middle-ups informal settlement of Saldanha Bay, where Joslin had lived. In their own words, Joslin's grandmother, the family friend who had wanted to adopt Joslin, and her teacher spoke of their pain and bewilderment about how she could have been sold by her mother. One witness during the trial had alleged this was to a traditional healer known in South Africa as Sangoma, who wanted Joslin for her eyes and skin. Now, remember back in the days I told you guys that they used to hunt some of these children that look like white people and blonde hair. They used to hunt them and say that they're either witch or they will hunt them and take them away. We're going to get into that. All right? So they used to hunt them in South Africa. So I'm not sure if it's because her skin looks that way and her eyes, why that situation. But anyway, so let's repeat ourselves. So one witness during the trial had alleged this was to a traditional healer known in South Africa as Sangoma, who wanted Joslin for her eyes and skin. A local pastor also testified that he had once heard Smith talk of selling her children for 20,000 rand. $1,850 each, but would have been willing to accept a lower figure of $275. Oh no. How do you sleep and live with yourself? A devastated Amanda Smith Daniels asked her daughter in her victim statement on Wednesday. She now looks after Smith's oldest child and the youngest child with her father. Smith and her co-accused refused to take the stand during the 8-week trial that began in March and was held at a community center in Saldanha to allow the wider community to attend the proceedings. But as Joslin's mother heard the statement on Wednesday and saw the video clip, she sobbed uncontrollable. Joslin's teacher, Etta Mark, described the little girl as quiet. Pupil was very tidy. She said she struggled with daily questions from Joslin's schoolmates about her whereabouts. Determined not to forget her, she said the class listened to her favorite gospel song, God Will Work It Out, at the start of every day. It also played to Terry courtroom on Wednesday. To this day, one day knows what has happened to Joslin. To this day, no one knows what happened to the 6-year-old child, guys. Okay? That is the mother. Those are the co-accused. Okay? Until now, the mom never testify. Until now, the mom cannot tell us where is Jocelyn. Until now, it's the first person who is an addict and a drug addict have so much weight. Because usually when you're a drug addict, most of the time you're very skinny. So I'm so surprised that at the end of the day, she has so much weight and they claim that she's a drug addict. Her boyfriend and another person was locked up for the crime. Okay, guys? They claim that they helped sold this little girl into trafficking. All right? Let's continue. Her disappearance on 19th of February 2024 caused shockwaves across the country. Biakana Van Aswagen, a criminologist and a national coordinator at Missing Children South Africa, likened it to the case of Madeleine McCann, a British girl who went missing in Portugal in 2007. Madeleine was age 3 when she vanished from a holiday apartment in Preda la Zoo in the Algarve, and hers is one of the most high-profile unsolved missing person case in the world. As Van Aswegage told the BBC that while this is trio conviction is Joslin case had given people a sense of relief, the matter of fact is that nobody knows where Jocelyn is, and think that's the big question the South Africa is still asking. A picture of Joyce's troubled life emerged during the trial, and a better sense of her personality during the week's hearing ahead of sentencing. She was born in October 2017 to Smith and her former partner, Josie Eck, who broke down on Wednesday and had to carry out of the courtroom. Their second child, she and her older brother, now 11, had both suffered from neglect, according to the social worker who testified during the trial. Growing up, Kelly Smith had lived with her maternal grandmother and had struggled with substance abuse since she was 15, often become abusive towards her and her children when she was high, social worker says. A report prepared by a social worker for sentencing hearing paints a stark picture of Smith's drug addiction at the time of Joyce's birth. Her grandmother had kicked Smith out of the family home because of her drugs use, and she had threatened to stab her own son at the time. The judge noted it took Smith 5 months to register Joyce's birth. By law, this must be done within 30 days, and had lived intimately at the shelter for abused women. When she went into rehab later, a family friend, Natasha Andrews, stepped into care for Jocelyn, and she and her husband had wanted to adopt her. We could have provided for her better than her mother, as Andrew said during the trial, but the plans fell apart in 2018 as the parents would agree to do it. Wouldn't agree to do it. Okay, guys? Despite this, Jocelyn often visits the Andrews family for weekend and school holidays and would go on trips with them. The clips shown in court on Wednesday of Jocelyn laughing was from one of those holidays and form parts of Miss Andrews' victim statement. She shared this and other photos of Jocelyn playing with her own daughters. So many people don't know what Jocelyn sounds like, she said. It was this and her description of her family's pain and sparked the greatest outpouring of emotions in the courtroom. Jocelyn grew up in corrugated iron structured, located in Middle Poops informal settlement with her mother, her mother's partner, her brother, and younger half-sister. The social worker reported described the shack as offering little in the way of privacy due to its highly restrictive living spaces. Basically, there they live. Let me show you guys 1 second. So they basically live there, guys. You guys know how South Africa is. Some part of South Africa is, to be honest. Okay? Let's continue. All right? Let's continue, guys. So that's the shot that they live in, guys. Simith did odds job to support her family, including part-time domestic work for Kelly Zegers, who lived with her family in a nearby neighborhood and paid her with grocery instead of cash. Because as you guys know that the mom trouble with drugs addiction, right? Okay. This is to make sure that she and the children have plate of food, Miss Seeger said during her testimony. I told you. Some witnesses did describe Simit as a good mother. Her sister told the court Joslin was a spitting image of her mom when she was young. The little that is known of what happened to Joslin on the day she disappeared is thanks to Lorena Lombard, who turned state witness. She had been at the shack smoking drugs with Apollis and Van Ryn at the time. She explained that Jocelyn, who had started school a few weeks before her disappearance, and her brother had stayed at home that day because they did not have clean uniforms. The children had been mainly left in the care of Apollos as Smith was in and out during course of day, occasionally returning to smoke. It is not clear exactly how or when Jocelyn went missing, but the trial established it was sometime during the afternoon, but the preoccupation of most of the adults meant the disappearance was only reported to the police at 2100, meaning maybe 9 o'clock, right? The social worker appointed to compile the report and the trio ahead of their sentencing described Simit as and someone who told bold-faced lies. It is thereof and therefore not a stretch to conclude that Simit is the mastermind behind trafficking her own daughter, he said. Okay? This is crazy, people. Real crazy. Miss Van said Jocelyn disappeared reflected a growing crisis in child trafficking in South Africa, if you guys don't know. It's much more of crisis than police stats actually show us due to the fact of many cases going unreported, she told the BBC. She said what was unusual in Jocelyn's case was that it had captured the whole nation. And a lot of bloggers and a lot of people are not talking about it. This is a 6-year-old child gone missing, disappear. Her mom evidently, perhaps sold her for drugs, they claim. All right? I have never really seen a case blow up like this in South Africa before, and neither have we seen such a big search for a missing child. I think social media played a big role, and we had political parties get involved in this case. According to South African news site, IOL 632 children were reported missing last year, Jaja, and 8,743 over the past 10 years. Mighty God. Early this month, police spokesperson Alenta Math said many children were eventually reunited with their families. Miss Van said the show that one could never give up hope and the search for Jocelyn would continue. This hope reflected most by the Andrews family during the sentence hearing. A poem written by Miss Angie's 14-year-old daughter Taylor was read out in court. It described her pain of not knowing what happened to Jocelyn and her hope that she was be safe, right? Because they're saying they're hoping she was safe, but the way we see the little girl is dead somewhere, okay? We just want to hug you again, Miss Angie said in her statement. You're our flower, our baby, and our green eye child. Okay, guys? So if you guys never heard about this story, I hope you guys go and read up on this story. It's a sad story, guys. All right? The mother seems like she doesn't care, has no care in the world. But again, the mother is a drug addict. And remember, I told you that people mentioned before that they claim that a pastor heard that she said she was going to sell her child for less money and stuff. So let's get into the story. Let's unpack the story so you guys could understand what I'm saying. So let's get into it, okay? Too many answers, okay? And this is the backstory. Let's get into the backstory. So this is the mom of Jocelyn, okay? And stuff like that. So this is one part of it. So let's get into this part again for a second, all right?
It's the second week of the Joslin Smith trial, which was riddled with disturbing revelations and emotional testimonies as the court delved deeper into the disappearance of the little girl from her Middleport home on the 19th of February last year. Now, the child's mother, Kelly Smith, took central stage this week as the Western Cape High Court heard that the plan to sell her child or her children for 20,000 rand was concocted in August of 2023. Smith, together with her boyfriend, Joslin and their friend Stephen van Rijn, face human trafficking as well as kidnapping charges. Our very own Nasi Pisame filed this report.
Day 6 of the Joslin Smith trial saw an emotionally charged moment in the Western Cape High Court as Kelly Smith, the mother of the missing 6-year-old girl, wept openly in the accused box. The emotional testimony of Carlin Ziegers, Kelly's former employer, painted a complex picture of Kelly's life. Carlin spoke about Kelly's love for her children and how, despite her struggles, she remained a devoted mother. Ziegers' testimony proved too much for Kelly, prompting the court to adjourn briefly to allow her time to compose herself.
Kelly het baie liefdevolle kinders en sy het dat kinders mooi groot gemaak. Ek het vir Kelly jammer gekry en ek het gesien waardeur het sy gegaan. In haar swakheid was sy 'n goeie ma vir haar kinders.
The trial has brought to light the complexity of Kelly's life, struggles with domestic violence involving both Joslin's father, Josh MK, and her boyfriend, Joslin, as well as her battles with substance abuse.
Sy die maatskaplike werker sou die kind saam met Kelly gebring het na my toe wanneer Joslin Kelly beklei het. Die verhouding tussen Kelly en Boeta was aan die begin baie goed. En later in die tyd toe dit begin lyk of Boeta en Kelly ook beklei, want Kelly het soms met haar hoede aangekom. Die een keer wat sy rehab toe gegaan het, wat Joslin 'n baba was, wat hulle die kind by my kom los het. Want voor die rehab was sy eers by die huis vir women and children abuse en ons was bekommerd oor die kind.
So you know it's in Africa, so they're going to speak some of that language, right? Hope you guys could read it.
En Kelly het nie ondersteuning gehad van haar familie nie.
This led to the Andrews family taking steps to adopt Joslin in 2018, less than a year after she was born. Natasha Andrews revealed that she and Kelly went to a social worker to begin the adoption process.
That's the mother.
But Kelly and Joslin's father, Josh, did not agree.
Ek en ma het al na die maatskaplike werker toe gegaan. Ons kon nie voortgaan met enige.
So we're not going to drag out that part, okay? So I'm sure you guys got exactly what's happening like now, okay? Like this is just disturbing details of this case, situation like that, okay? Then this is the lady who wanted to adopt Joslin, okay? This is her who's on the stand. Let's hear her part, okay? One second.
Well, let's begin here. The Western Cape High Court sitting in Saldanha Bay this morning sentenced Kelly Smith and her co-accused Joslin and Stefano van Rijn to life imprisonment for human trafficking and 10 years for kidnapping. The trio had earlier been convicted of human trafficking and kidnapping for the disappearance of 6-year-old Joslin Smith. Before handing down the ruling, Judge Nathan Erasmus said there were no mitigating factors in the matter. In his ruling, Erasmus added that the names of the trio would be added to the Child Protection Register. Joslin Smith's whereabouts remain unknown. Well, the life sentences imposed on Kelly Smith, Joslin and Stefano van Rijn are not a measure of closure for the women who wanted to adopt Joslin Smith. Our reporter spoke to Natasha Andrews shortly after a court adjournment. Here's Vanessa Puna.
The woman who was like a mother to 6-year-old Joslin Smith and whose victim impact statement yesterday left many in tears here in the White City Multipurpose Hall, Natasha Andrews, has said a short while ago that the sentence of life imposed on Kelly Smith, Jacqueline Apollos, as well as Stefano van Rijn does in a certain measure bring some closure to the family. But of course, that they will always have questions.
So somebody was shot, how can you sell your own children or your own child? We saw it on the internet in regards of someone buy someone paint and then after exchange $500, and when we look 2 days later, her daughter was right there. You have lots of mom out here, they will sell their children. You have lots of careless mother out here that will sell their children, seriously. So this woman sit down in court, never testify, got life in sentence, life. And don't talk where your child is. At least tell us where her body is. Oh my, let's continue.
Around where Joslin is, Natasha Andrews, we not a dry eye in the court yesterday when you explained in the victim impact statement what exactly the disappearance of Joslin has meant to you and your family. And today we see that the judge has imposed the harshest penalty on the three of them. Does this bring closure to you and your family and the community? And what are you feeling today?
Closure? No. Our hearts are broken. We haven't found our green-eyed girl, and closure will only be when we found her.
You mentioned just now that you will forever want to ask Kelly Smith what had happened to Joslin. She will be in prison for life, of course, depending on the processes about around parole, etc., etc. But are you preparing to go to her again and to ask her why she didn't say anything and why, on whether she knows where Joslin is?
Exactly.
Yes, that is a question I will always ask. I will always ask that question until I found out what happened to Joslin or where she is. So wherever Kelly will be, I will go to her. I will ask that question until I get my answer.
You said to me just now also very briefly, Natasha, that you have nowhere to go to mourn Joslin. Explain to me what you mean.
In meaning, when someone's child is dead, and there is a graveyard you can go to, then you can go and talk to them. But where do we go? There's too many questions without answers.
Thank you very much for speaking to us, Natasha Andrews. Of course, the woman who wanted to adopt Joslin Smith, the woman who treated Joslin like her own child, reacting to the sentencing today here in the Western Cape High Court, sitting in Saldanha Bay, saying that she will forever be asking the questions of not.
So I'm sure you guys got the part of it. I'm sure you guys got what's happening in this story. Okay, this is a little girl that went missing almost 2 years ago. Her mom not too long got sentenced for life in parole for trafficking. They're accusing the mom, the boyfriend, and the friend of selling that little girl because the mom is a crackhead. The mom is a drug addict and stuff like that. During that time when that little girl went missing, they claim that the mom was in and out the house and the little girl was left basically in care of the boyfriend and a friend who was in that house smoking some kind of drugs. They claim that the mom sold that little kid for $20,000. You know, it's South Africa. So she sold the money. A pastor also testified in the past that she heard that the mom, Kelly, was going to sell the children for $20,000. We also get to understand, allegedly, that the mother was supposed to sell that little girl to a witch doctor because of her green eyes and her skin color. Back in the days in Africa, when your skin looked like almost like a white person, okay? You know those people when their skin look like a white person? They used to call them witches. They used to take them away. They used to kill them, if you guys don't know. And we're gonna revisit a little bit of that if I have some time with this content, yeah? Just because the content came on late with the content because you guys know I get up very early and I'm in my house doing a few things, and then I said, oh shit, I gotta do another content because I had to highlight something earlier because I really don't do videos. I more to do lives, yeah? Anyways, I'm not gonna kill my phone with all of them memory there with videos, and I don't screen record because I'm hardly on the internet to go sit down and watch people to screen record, right? So when I get a video, save it to my phone, then I will come and analyze it. And most of the time, like I said, I do a lot of reading like this. So I analyze the content, analyze the paragraph, analyze the story. Then I will come and talk to you guys about it. You know what I mean? But at the end of the day, guy, people, to really think about it, the little girl is missing. The mother cannot tell us where this little girl is. The little girl is missing and the mother got life in prison yesterday and still don't tell us where that child is. Okay? So, you know, in South Africa, it's a little bit poor. And I'm sure you guys know that. All right? And stuff like that. So all of those kind of things. And then when it comes to the mother of the accused, the mother has this to say. All right? Let's get into this one. Let me take this off for a second.
But she did something wrong, so
right there.
She must deal with the consequences.
That's her mother.
Is this sentence the sentence that
That's the little girl who was disappeared grandmother.
Or were you hopeful that maybe the judge would be lenient? No comment. Okay, can I ask you, when was the last time you spoke to Kelly and what did she say to you?
Kelly, where's Joslin, guys?
I spoke to her here and she told me she would.
See Kelly there?
She will take the stand, but she didn't.
Is the missing persons docket for Joslin Smith still open?
Yes. We will not rest until we found what happened to Joslin. We are continuing day and night looking for Joslin. And we're still appealing to everybody that let's work together to find the missing child and all other missing child out there that have not had the opportunity to have a case brought forward like today. That we stand together as a country, as citizen and community, and all concerned South Africans, also all human beings who are parents and grandparents, that we have to protect our children and the body.
Commissioner, is the search for Joslin
so sad, brother.
Outside of the country?
We've been outside the country. We are with.
They've been looking for that child up and down because it's almost like sex trafficking, right, guys?
And that's still continuing.
We're still continuing.
Chano Star.
We hope that one day we will find exactly what happened.
Very happy about the sentence. This week is Child Protection Week. This case is a testimony of the NPA's conferment in protecting the rights of children. The theme of Child Protection Week is South Africa's children. It's all.
I'm sure you guys know in South Africa, the children them are going missing like nothing. I told you guys in my content that is about 8,000 and something children are missing in South Africa, guys. And not because that is all the way in South Africa doesn't mean that we shouldn't care. Not because this story doesn't resonate with a lot of us, like the Guyana story, like the stories them that end up in Jamaica and all of those stories, they're still children. This was a 6-year-old child that went missing. The mother sold her because the mom was a crackhead. She's the first fat drug addict I ever seen, because I know you most of the time when you're fat, most of the time when you're an addict, you really is a little bit skinny. And the mom never testified. The mom cannot tell us where's that child. But people in the neighborhood uttered and heard she uttered that she was going to sell those children. So they're saying basically she maybe sell the child to this witch doctor for her eyes, because that little girl is very light skinned and she has green eyes. Okay? So they're basically saying she sold the child to a witch doctor. The child been missing. The mom cannot tell us where's the child. All right? Nobody can tell us where that child is. And the mom and 3 other accomplices is locked up. This is the child. 1 second. That's the baby girl. She was missing at 6 years old, guys. They sold her. All right? All the way in South Africa we are, guys. We don't just sit down and talk about little story, guys. Her mother was 35. Her mother kicked out the mother, Kelly, because at the time the mother said that Kelly was abusive. Kelly was on drugs. Seems like Kelly had her children very early because the mom mentioned at the age, something about age of 15. You know, in South Africa, the age, I don't know what the age of consent is, but more time in South Africa, you know, they have those children early, very young, and married very young. Okay? What did I say to you guys? They claim a witness during the trial had alleged that this was a traditional healer known to South Africa as Sanguma, who wanted Joslin for her eyes and skin. Now, people make that sit in your brain for a second. These kind of sinister stuff is happening in the world, like how people talk about obia ring and goat blood and this and that. These shit are out here practicing hard in South Africa. Taking people's skin and eyes. Not only that, they get to understand, right, that they heard that she was going to sell these children, all her children. Look now, a local pastor also testified that he had once heard Simit talk of selling her children for $20,000 rent. $1,150 each, but would have been willing to accept a lower figure of $275. So I'm not making up as I go, people. I'm not telling you any lies because I need views and more views or clout. I'm telling you as how it is. I'm telling you how I read it. I'm telling you how I get it. I sell it to you and put it to you. Okay? So this is what happening now. Not only that, they can't find the body. No evidence don't really point to her that she's the one who sold the child, because remember the child was left in the custody of her boyfriend that is locked up now doing life in prison as well, and the friend. But she never testified to tell us where the child is. She can't get up and tell us where the child is. So they sentenced him on Thursday for life in prison without no parole. And there's no body. There's no evidence that the little child is dead. These are the three accused right here. Big mother, nice and brown and pretty with nice hair. She's a crackhead and I can't believe it because she has more weight on her than a regular crackhead. And these, one is the boyfriend and one is the friend. Oh, South Africa, we're gone again. Oh, that's where we at. Seriously. Okay, guys? So remember I said to you guys, this case is almost like the Madeline case they claim. All right? It's almost like the Madeline case. You know the Madeline case that went to the hotel and she disappeared? Remember that situation? Okay? One thing I hate, the pastor testified that she was going to sell the child. Pastor never going to report that to Children AIDS. Now the Children AIDS is in the case. Could talk about this and talk about that. Everywhere in the world, Children AIDS is, no matter how poor the country is, right? Not only that, hear what the mom said right here. Growing up, Kelly Smith had lived with her maternal grandmother. See, Kelly is this girl. Okay? Joslin Smith is the one who's missing the little girl. Kelly is the mother. All right? Continue, right? Okay? See it there? All right? There you go. Substance abuse since she was 15. So what did the mom say? The second child she and her older brother, now 11, have been both suffered from neglect according to the social worker and testified during the trial. So now there's a social worker. But from the girl is 15, she's on substance abuse. We're going to come back with another story. In South Africa, the amount of drugs in South Africa you will run. And this is a poor country. Poor country. Okay, guys? Not everywhere in that country is poor, but I'm just saying, a majority of it, you understand? So from she's 15, she's a drug addict, and she ended up having 2 children. Who was there to oversee her? They claim that her husband was also abusive, and now the boyfriend that she have in her life is also abusive. So the 2 other children are being raised now by her mother and her ex-man, because she went to go pick up a new man who's an addict, younger, and land her in jail of selling her child. So they always say most of the time the worst enemy you can pick up is the one that you sleep with and eat with and drink with. to be honest. Okay, guys? So if you guys didn't hear about the story, you heard about the story over here first. Because when it comes to story, we don't play. We always have something to come and tell you guys. And I mean real life issue. Okay? I mean, not prank. Not these stories that these people are doing on here when you hide down their friends and they prank and they fight. No, none of those stories. We're talking about real life issues like right now. Okay, guys? So, like I said, you know, the little girl is disappeared. They gave her life in parole yesterday. The case been going on for a while, okay, and stuff like that, all right? And at the end of the day now, you know, the little girl is gone. Nobody know where she is. You know, they claim that she was kidnapped. They claim that she was sold for some kind of monies. All right. And stuff like that. Okay. So it's a sad case, guys. If you guys didn't hear about the story, now you guys know about the story. I had to come and shed light on the story for you guys to know that A, the little girl still hasn't been found. B, nobody parts has been found. C, the mother got life in jail without any parole because at the end of the day they don't know where the child is, and they claim perhaps she is a part of selling and child trafficking this little girl, to be honest. Okay, guys. Now I am gonna go back. Hold on. In South Africa, if I could find it, right? 1 second. In South Africa, if I could find it, right? 1 second. They used to take away people for their skin and their eyes. 1 second, all right? Hold on. Let me see if I could find it. And they used to sell them and call them witches as well, all right? Okay, I'm not gonna kill myself to find it, but when I find it, I will come back to come and talk about it, okay? To be honest, all right? So they found her guilty, like I said last time. When I find it, I will come back and talk to you guys about it another time. Not gonna drag it out at all. There was one. I'm gonna meet you guys commercial.
I had to meet you guys. Court found a mother and two accomplices guilty on Friday of kidnapping and trafficking her 6-year-old daughter. The case gained nationwide attention after Joslin Smith went missing from Middle Post, South Africa in February 2024. She has not been found.
You are guilty of a contravention of section.
Joslin's mother, Kelly Smith, her boyfriend, and their friend were accused of selling the child for a fee.
You are also convicted of kidnapping.
One witness said in court that Smith had told her she sold Joslin to a Sangoma, or a traditional healer, for $1,100, and that the girl was desired for her, quote, eyes and skin. A Western Cape High Court judge found all three guilty of kidnapping and trafficking. The judge did not say in his ruling who the girl was sold to or why.
So you see? So now you hear what I'm talking about, guys? So right now we don't know where that child is. If that child is alive, if they really sold that child for her eyes and skin, and if you're going to sell her for her eyes and skin, then she would have to be dead. She's going to be walking up out here without no skin and no eyes. So that man who is the doctor, who's the witch doctor, needs to be killed as well, allegedly. We don't believe in violence, people, but what the hell are you doing taking people's eyes and skin? For you to be taking people's eyes and skin, then you will have to kill them. So you're committing murder yourself. So you're supposed to be put to death as well, and they pluck out your eyes and peel off your skin as well. So you see the sinister and the disturbing thing that are happening in Africa? They're skinning kids, taking their eyes to go give it to witch doctor. Huh? You see what's happening in front of you guys? So if you guys never heard this story, you guys heard the story over here first. I ain't gonna drag out the story at all, guys. I am not going to drag out the story. I just came to tell you guys this trial been going on for a while. The baby girl hasn't been found, and they sentenced the mom and the two bastards yesterday life in prison for traffic and sold that little girl. So I've been watching this case for a while. Have you guys? I've been watching this case for a while because there's no way you're going to talk about kids, and your eyes is not everywhere when it comes to children. You just cannot have empathy for the little girl in Guyana or empathy for the kids them in Jamaica and not having empathy for poor Joslin in Africa. If it's kids you're dealing with, then our eyes is on the ground to watch everything that's happening. And if you're out here doing blogging and you're out here doing topics, then you just can't stick to the Caribbean story or this story or that story. You have to mix it and give it a whole world story. Yes, that's how people blog. I don't know, because member bloggers now these days are like news station. So if you're going to talk about stories, you got to talk about all kind of story, like how the TV would give you all kind of international stories. All right, guys? So I had to come and tell you guys, Joslin was sold by her mother for 10,000 or 20,000. Guys, allegedly, Joslin was sold to a witch doctor for her eyes and her skin. Allegedly. By her dirty mother. Allegedly. Could you imagine? So who's out here selling their children? We saw that on the internet the other day with paint money. We saw that the other day. So don't act like you guys are not out here know someone 1 and 2 times selling their children. They're out here doing this. Selling their children. Okay? Out here selling their children and come and laugh in people's face and think it's cool and think it's great. All right? Think it's cool and think it's great when it's not. Okay, guys? Running on with this content quick and fast. All right? Not only that, someone also offered her some kind of money to get back the child and they never cared. All right? So running on, let's get to some news quick and fast. So let's get to news somewhere else. All right? So this is a case that's been out here for a while and there's a reward and they want to know, like, do you have anything on this story? Let's get to the story quick and fast. Yeah?
Nearly 6 years after a Richmond notary public was found dead inside his office, investigators and colleagues are hoping a hefty reward could draw in new information.
The Society of Notaries Public of BC is offering a reward of $10,000 for information provided to IHIT that leads to the arrest and charge of the individual or individuals responsible for the murder of Stephen.
This is Stephen Sing Wai Chong. He had been practicing in Richmond since 2008, where he served clients in English, Mandarin, and Cantonese. His death has had a profound impact on his family, his clients, and his professional colleagues at the Society of Notaries Public of BC.
He took special pride in his services that he provided to the clients, building strong relationships with the clients in his community. He was a well-respected legal professional known for his honesty, reliability, and as a person of integrity to both clients and fellow notaries.
The $10,000
So I am not going to drag it out to a $10,000 reward. Quick and fast.
The reward was originally offered at the time of Chong's death, but was not made public.
It was announced privately because it's a reward not offered by the police. Rewards can be a good way for us to renew the information.
So this case happened from 2019 and there was a reward out here, but they never told it to the public. Now they're telling you, yo, there's 10 grand. So if you guys know that who killed this poor notary man, then come and talk, come and snitch, come and inform. They needed to come and tell because it's 2019 and the family need a closure. Running on, moving on, quick and fast. Yes? All right. Not only that, guy, let's talk about some other things, right? All right. We have a bunch of things, but because I gotta run, today's Friday and I am extremely busy, and I gotta go. So you see me talking fast? Yeah, I know, I'm sorry. But whatever I miss, people, I will come back and come clobber it in, put it in the next content that I do, because you guys know over here I'm always doing some real content. Okay, let's talk about some things quick and fast, right? Quick and fast, you want to talk about some things. All right, okay, right here. News. Let's go to the Caribbean. Abandoned boat found with 11 bodies on board in advanced state of decomposition. A decomposition? 11 bodies on Caribbean island, police said. Okay, people. So there's a boat that was abandoned When they ran up on the boat, people, it's 11 bodies on board in a decomposition situation state. Okay? Right here. Okay? The remains were found alongside several passports that appeared to be from the Republic of Mali, police said. Same like how the chicken ended up in Jamaica the other day. Same like how, what did they say? What did they say? Alongside several passports that appeared to be from the Republic. So it passed all kind of people. Nobody never realized that this abandoned boat that had 11 bodies on it. So where these 11 bodies come from? Are these 11 migrants who are trying to get into America? Are these 11 migrants who are trying to get into Canada? Are these 11 people who are trying to scale the fence? Who are these people? As soon as we find out people, we have our ear on the ground and we'll come and say, yo, masses, see here what happened. Here we go. Okay? Running on with the content quick and fast. Yes? All right. Let's talk about some other things, yes? Because you guys know we can't give a topic if I don't talk about a bag of things then, yes? All right then, boom. Talking about bodies, yes. For the longest time, they've been looking for this girl. Human remains found at Hamilton landfill during search of missing woman. All right? So Hamilton police say human remains have been located at the landfill site where investigation has spent months searching for the body of Shalini Singh, a 40-year-old woman who was reported missing by her family back in December. See there, a next Indian student, a next Indian person dead. They've been dying and dying and dying for the longest time, people, and nobody don't say a word. So that's why you see when I dropped that story yesterday, I'm only highlighting something, but I guess because it's not my culture, it's not really my business, I shouldn't come and say anything. But if you're blogging, you have to blog about everything. The missing, the dead, the good, the bad, the ugly, and then mind your business sometime when it get too drastic because they will kill you out, yeah. Because mankind is unbearable out here. Okay, guys? So I had to come and talk about these things right here, right here. She's been missing for a while, guys, and nobody know where she is at this point in time. Let's talk about Khloe Kardashian for a second. Then there's strict rules at these people workplace, okay? There's a lawsuit right now on Khloe Kardashian company demands cancer striking ex-employee submit to mental exam. Oh no, oh, the Kardashian. Let's read a little bit more. Fashion company Good American demanding the cancer striking ex-employee suing for alleged discrimination submit to a mental examination before trial in Touch exclusive report. On May 23rd, lawyers of Good American closed business partner Emma Greenfield court stock obtained by Touch, which asked the court to sign off on a former employee brought being examined by a medical professional. Go find out the rest. So there's a lawsuit and they're trying to get her out by doing a mental exam. Are you okay in the brain? Are you all right? And if you're not all right, dismiss the case, please and thanks. Dismiss the case, please and thanks. So that's what's happening right there now, guys. Not gonna drag it out. Moving on, running on, got things to do. Anyways, what else can we talk about here? Talk about this. So this is not the first time that this man, Khalid, I don't know what Khalid, I don't know what this man does. They claim say he's a DJ, a artist, a rapper. I can't put my hands on it. What does this man do? We know this man went to Jamaica one time and piled all of the food, the rice and peas, the oxtail, I think the curry goat and the chicken and the porridge on one plate. And I'm looking at him and said, big slabber, yuck. How dare you don't know how to drink porridge? How dare you every day you talk about yeah man, yes man, yeah man, and didn't know how to eat the people them food. This is not Arab food that you eat with your hand and you put everything on the damn plate now. This was porridge, drink out a bowl, out a cup with spoon, then you eat your food after. And I like kiss my teeth and pass. When people don't have no respect for people culture, this is the nonsense that they do. They don't study the culture, how to eat their food. Like, you know, African people eat their fufu with their hands. So when you go there and go eat with fork, everybody look on you like, hey, use your hand now. You understand what I'm saying? Like, oh, you're going to eat roti and you're going to eat the doubles and eat the roti and all of these things. Why are you using all kind of thing where you should just hold it and bite it? Kiss me teeth and pass. You understand what I'm saying? Well, this man go and he peeled the mango and Rihanna say, hey, boy, why you butchering the mango? Why don't you eat the mango? Because you're supposed to enjoy the good skin. So the man said, you know what, my teeth and my teeth this and my teeth that. And I'm sorry, Rihanna, next time I will bite it myself. Kiss me teeth and pass. Long time this idiot is out here. Long time this idiot is out here doing all these things, run up in people's culture and don't know how to behave in people's culture, especially when it comes to their food. Kiss my teeth literally and pass. Next DJ Khalid, because I don't know if you're a DJ, rapper, artist, what. You just out here, DJ Khalid, and sign off the people them big song and gone, allegedly. Who are you? The piper in hip hop? I am not sure. Jump right here. Woman arrested for allegedly hitting a child who called her Miss Piggy. No, sir. Make sure you guys keep your children mouth under manners and bandage. Because when they go out, people will asking them if you don't. No, sir. Hey, so imagine a child come up to you and say, hey, Miss Piggy, Miss Piggy, Miss Piggy, and being rude. Instead of you tell the child, mother or parent to caution the child, you end up beating the child. Are you dumb? Woman arrested for alleged hitting child who called her Miss Piggy. Hey, child, you should have some manners, eh? Hey, child, little girl, little boy, you should have some manners to adults. Yo, I'm sorry. Murder! Miss Piggy got mad and slapped the hell out of the child. And you, someone was arrested for alleged. Okay, all right, stop. I put on my smart face. I'm sorry. I hear someone was arrested after allegedly hitting a child who called her fat Miss Piggy during the flight of Florida. Now, lady, why you beat the people them kids for? Our child. Why you beating the people them child? Yo, anything come out of that case, people will come back and tell you guys, because that one is funny as heck. Seriously. Sometimes you gotta laugh, bro. Sometimes the littlest thing you gotta laugh about. If it's not funny to you, it's funny to me. Because there's no way that child gonna call you Miss Piggy and then you slap the shit out of the child. No, that is crazy to me. Let's run on here. Hey, wedding bells. What do we always say in the black community? We go to more funeral and baby shower more than weddings. Right here. Eddie Murphy's son and Martin Lawrence's daughter are married. Or married. Or couples right now, no doubt. Had there been a wedding reception for these father to speak, the speeches would have been pretty funny. Eddie Murphy was revealed that his son Eric has married to Martin Lawrence's daughter, Jasmine. Oh no. Moving on, rumbling on. Let's drop this one here. So remember how we talked about Smokey Robinson the other day? Smokey Robinson files 500 million case against rape accusers. Okay, Motown legend Smokey Robinson had filed a 370 million defamation lawsuit against 4 former housekeepers who have accused the singer of sexual assault. Remember, they claim the language barrier. Remember, they claim they were getting less than minimum wage. Remember, they claim that they was violated and assaulted 23 times, 10 times, 15 times, all kind of times, and they couldn't leave because of immigration status. Well, the man clapped back. No way. Not only that, they also include his wife in the lawsuit so that the wife know that this old man or this mogul was there having it, taking out his lala out his pants and sticking it where it doesn't belong. Well, the man clapped back and say, you guys are not going to make me go down like Diddy. You guys are not going to make me go down like R. Kelly. You guys not going to make me go down by the wayside. So I'm slapping you guys with defamation of character lawsuit. Not only that, guys, remember the other day I said that the lawyer shout he should be criminal investigating. Well, right, we get to understand, people, this case is gonna end up being criminal. I shout it over here first, shout it over here second, shout it over here third. The only time we're gonna shout it over last is when we get the verdict. Not guilty, or settle the money. That's when we're gonna stop talking about Smokey Robinson over here. Okay, guys? So I had to come and drop that bomb right there. Bang. Okay, guys? Running on with the rest of the content. I think I done talking, to be honest. I don't think I need to give you guys anything more. I don't think so. Wanna think one more right here. Five musician murdered in suspect Mexican cartel killing. So you guys know that there, I don't know if you guys heard that there was musician went missing. Hello, missing. Where are you missing? I don't know if you guys heard about it. But right here, the musicians were last seen in Mexico City after Reynoso, near the U.S. border. 5 musicians was disappeared in Mexican City after Reynoso, near the U.S. border, were murdered by suspect drug cartel members, Mexican authorities have said. So did you guys hear about that? Well, I'm shouting it over here first. If you guys like music. Okay, guys? Wrapping up this live, jumping off of this live. Thank you for watching as always, guys. I really appreciate you guys and all of that, guys. Okay? Not only that, guys. Remember I said to you guys that when it comes to Diddy, it's kind of hard for them to charge him for racketeering and all of that because those things were for the mafia, the RICO charges. Remember I shouted that? You guys don't believe me, do you? All right, then I come with my receipts again. Remember I told you guys about the white slave law? Then I told you guys about the Mann Act. Now I tell you guys about the RICO charge, the RICO Act, the RICO Act. Remember I said that? That's what they have on Diddy now. But who did they drop that charges on before in the past when that charges and when that act came up across and came in the world? Who did they do it to? Let's find out, like I told you guys before. Okay?
If Sean Diddy Combs is found guilty of being the head of a criminal enterprise, he may not end up in prison long. Past RICO cases have shown just how tricky getting and keeping a conviction can be. Case in point, John Gotti.
Told you.
39 years ago this month, in May of 1986, Gotti was locked up only to walk free after an acquittal, yes, less than a year later. And that acquittal earned Gotti the nickname the Teflon Don.
All right, then.
He was on trial for the mob assassination of Gambino.
So who did that trial come for? Who did that RICO act for? Who? Teflon Don escaped RICO multiple times. So when they brought in those kind of cases, those kind of act, it was for the mafias, like I said to you guys. The first person they dropped on that case was this man in the 1980 ad. Me tell you no. Okay? That's when they came up with it. But the first person that they dropped the White Slave Act on and the Mann Act was a black boxer. I came and showed you guys the other day. Came and gave you guys history the other day. So who did they first charge with these kind of crime? When they came with the RICO? This man. Let's hear it again for yourself.
If Sean Diddy Combs is found guilty of being the head of a criminal enterprise, he may not end up in prison long. Past RICO cases have shown just how tricky getting and keeping a conviction can be. Case in point, John Gotti. 39 years ago this month, in May of 1986, Gotti was locked up only to walk free after an acquittal, yes, less than a year later.
Told ya.
That acquittal earned Gotti the nickname the Teflon Don.
Right, listen.
He was on trial for the mob assassination of Gambino crime boss Paul Castellano.
What was that?
It happened outside of the New York Steakhouse in December of 1985. The murder made headlines across the country and cleared the way for Gotti to assume control of the Gambino crime family.
What did I say?
Making him the most powerful mob boss in the U.S.
So what was the act? The White Slave Act to use on the boxer turned to the Mann Act, turned to the RICO Act, that the only person they charged would have to be gang leaders, have to be organization, have to be like a mob, like this Amania. Okay? So when you hear they have right there Diddy and them and all of that and racketeering this and that and kissing my teeth and say, wait a minute, might as well you charge him for domestic abuse and lock him up and throw away the key more than to come with this nonsense, because we know who, when, and where the charges and those kind of act came from. I came and spoke to you guys about it. I don't need to drop it in this content again, because if you guys are watching my content, then you guys will know what I'm talking about. Okay, I am tired of repeating myself. When it comes to the content, I don't want to continue to repeat myself and give you guys the same history and over. You're supposed to listen, supposed to have your eyes on the ground, and you're supposed to make sure that those things stay in your brain. And then on top of it, you have to go and do your own research. Okay, guys? So thank you for watching, guys. It's a pleasure as always. Friday, hello Friday weekend. We really appreciate it. Oh my God. Weekend is here. Yeah. Okay, guys. So thank you for stopping by. I really appreciate it. Okay, guys. And it's a pleasure as always. So we just want to shout out, big up to those who always come and watch the content. I really appreciate you. Okay, guys. Really appreciate you now. Really appreciate you. Really appreciate you. And a big thank you for those who will stop by and watch the content no matter what time I come on. I appreciate you. Respect for you to come and lend me your ear and to welcome me in your home and many of your devices. I appreciate you. Okay, guys. And at the end of the day, for those who are having a happy birthday to you and celebrate well and fine and in one piece, because you would like to get another one for the next year and all of that. Okay, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share, and turn on your notification bell so when I come live, you're the first one to know I'm over y'all with the content. Okay, guys. For the people in my life who make me smile, love me, and support me and bring me joy, I respect you. Thank you. And for those who always come and watch the content, peace and love until I catch you another time. I am out. Make it run to 60 minutes, 1 hour. Right there. Don't forget, again, like I said, like and share, like and share, like and share, and like and share, like and share, and like and share, and comment and turn on your notification bell. So when I come live, you know I'm live. When I come live, you know I'm live. So 60 minutes, 1 hour I gave you. Peace and love.